YouTube, peace Instagram, and peace TikTok. Welcome in, how are you? To all of the lovelies who are catching the replay, thank you for sharing this space. Stay a while. All right. Peace and wellness, peace and love to all of you. Welcome in, babes. Hey. Crystal, hey Crystal, guess what? Hey, it's Alana. Crystal, I got some jingles that I'm about to add to the website. I gotta whisper it so Tiandra don't hear me. Cause Tiandra, aka TT, she be taking all of that. I ain't tell you this, but she be taking all of the jewelry. And TT is Swiper. TT is the CMS. The Crystaline Mars Swiper. So I kept both of y'all in mind. And I made two things so far. So first come, first serve. I'll be adding her probably tomorrow. But I created two I created two anklets. They are different, they are unique, and they are beautiful. Welcome in. Peace, Ida. Trust No One EJ. Hey baby boo, I did see your bookings. Gratitude, truly. I look forward to connecting with Yuli. Aaron said, I'm burning for you, Nag Champa. Ashe. I'm burning that oud right now. Don't be rude right now. Peace, Indigo. Peace to y'all over here in TikTok. On TikTok. Top Lux, Daniel. Welcome in. Peace, Graffiti. What the old by 90 showing? With that purple. Well, that's more so Oya. Oba is pink. But the purple. Hey, Ray Bay. Alafia to you. Peace, Brian, Miss Sheba. You said, girl, I be geek for you. Why you take it back? I seen it already. Soon as I read it, you retracted your statement. Why you retracting, Miss Sheba? You making an edit. You said TT don't snatch on both. I know. I'm gonna add them up there. They're super cute. They're downstairs, so I can't show you right now, but I'll send you a DM letting you know, because I be seeing you look on the website, you just click to shop all, like, let me see. Oh, all right. So I'll let you know when I add it. Graffiti said, just came from the river to meditate and give my offerings. What did you give? Ashe, Miss Sheba, I love you. Peace, I am Spiritual Mo. It's time to go. Welcome in, y'all. Hey. Y'all be sure to share this live, because we about to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome in, y'all. Thank you to the love who say you like my outfit. You like all my little materials. Material girl. You like my materials. Thank you kindly. Thank you. Welcome in to all of y'all who are joining. Peace, Dino. I am your co-host of the Crystaline Mars show. I am Mrs. Dublé Jones. I am the lady with the stones, the come here's, and the leave us alones. And gratitude truly to all of you who have been supporting us, who send your love offerings in, who book, who has been taking advantage of the 15% off sale as well. CrystalineMars.com. The sale is active until May the 19th at 4 a.m. Eastern time. So head over there and take advantage of your spiritual jewels, gems, tools, and all that you need. Also, if y'all would like a reading tonight on the live, you can send your love offerings in. I will conduct those first come, first serve. I do not have anybody on queue at the moment. So we can start with you, baby boo, if you'd like to. And if you'd like to join our merchandise raffle, we will be pulling names on June 1st to see who wins what from our website. Every $5 equals a name entry. So y'all meet us here again. And last but not least, I already spammed everybody. I normally don't like text or like share posts like through DMs or like share things, but it was really put on my spirit to share. So I like text all my clients what we have going on. But y'all, I am excited to introduce to you all that we will be hosting a monthly soul circle session. Okay, so I titled it Emerge and See Soul Sessions. Okay, so the emerge represents the coming together, the reuniting of the divine feminine and masculine. So these monthly or weekly sessions are open for all genders, masculine, feminine, whatever you identify as. It is a sacred, safe space for us to learn, for us to grow, for us to heal, for us to remember who we are, remember what we know. I wanted to create something more intimate and more focused towards community, like something more, because this is like community based too, but I wanted a sacred space. It is a virtual session that will be held every Sunday. Our first session is going to be on the 25th. So y'all got a little few time to claim your spot. But it's going to be virtual, and it's month to month basis. Okay, so it's 111 up front, and that will cover your 4 Sundays. We will meet every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and every session will be recorded in case you miss one. Okay, so again, you can commit month to month basis. Our first soul session will be on May the 25th at 12 p.m. Eastern time. I look forward to seeing all of you all there. It's definitely the space that you've been waiting for, the space that I have been waiting for. This time last year, it was some OGs. Well, actually, it was earlier last year. It was some OGs, and we were planning to do an in-person retreat, which was literally like this kind of energy, but in person. But due to divine order, we did not do that, and I got dropped with it. I got the download today, and I was called to upload it today. And so it's just a beautiful full circle moment for us, because now I am ready to show up. You are ready to show up. And again, I look forward to connecting and sharing that space with y'all. So that is available. And if you, like I said, it's going to be a month to month base, right? So if, let's say, you get your funds, or you're ready to join, and the monthly session has already started, you can still book, and you will just be added to the next month's session. I do have a 2-month forecast. Y'all know I'm with child, and I am expecting towards the end of August. So I have my schedule up until then, but I want to give that little window for my labor and delivery and recovery. And so as far as like September and moving forward, I am going to come back in September for sure, but I don't have those dates scheduled yet. So we have June, we have the month of June, July, and August already scheduled on the website. If you would like to be a part, if you would like to join, just go to the spiritual services. Like, you know how you would go on the website to book for a tarot reading or a consultation. Click on spiritual services, Brother Lagasse and Dublé, and then you'll see it right there at the top. It's called Emerge and See Soul Sessions. So that's what I got. I'm super excited to share this space with y'all. Again, all are welcome. And yeah, you said I will be joining. I look forward to it. I'm so excited, y'all. Like, I was recording Daily Energy today, and I was recording for June the 22nd. And I pulled out Sacred Circle, and I pulled out another card. And in that moment, it just dawned on me, and my spirit was like, this is a message for you, Dublé. Bring it. And at first, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I was excited. I told you're going to see it later, because I was talking about it on the Daily Energy video. And so I was like, okay, y'all stay tuned. We're going to have it coming. So I'm thinking, bitch, because this is around Cancer season. June 22nd is Cancer energy. And so I'm like, okay, Cancer energy. I'm in flow with the Cancer. We're going to bring it in with the Cancer healing, yin and yang type energy. And to be mindful, remind y'all, it's not just around healing. This is about rebuilding. This is about community. So some of y'all are like, well, I don't really need healing like that, you know, or I'm pretty much moved past a lot of traumas and things. If you feel called to this space, trust me, it's something there for you to receive. Okay, we're gonna be doing different kind of things, and it's definitely gonna be a ball. Y'all know how we turn up here. It's gonna be like that over there, just a little bit more personal. And again, not for everybody to see. It's only those who are like-minded who actually invested into it. And so I'm thinking like, okay, boom. Okay, I got to like June 22nd, get my game plan. I was like, I'm going to promote. I'm going to tell the lovelies the day. And we got a month. Bitch! My spirit, Yimmy, y'all was like, yeah, no, we're going to start with Gemini. And I was like, oh, okay. And it makes sense because the emerge and see, you get it like emergency. But the emerge and see, the duality, the Gemini energy. And I was like, oh, okay. So I got hit with it just like you get hit with it. You said, is it virtual? It is. It is. You will get the link at the time of your purchase, and it'll be every Sunday again. And they will be recorded in case you miss a show or whatever, or miss a session. But it's definitely going to be a sacred group space. So I look forward to seeing y'all. Miss Shiva said, I love that. Ah! Erica said, I got the same colors on. Ah! I just put these on. I had on my red, black, and yellow. I told you I was going to run it back earlier. But again, I was recording Daily Energy, so I had to change my outfit. So, yeah, we rocking with it. And are you leaning with it? I look forward to it. Okay, y'all. So, I got to breathe, bitch. What's going on with the music? Hold on. Tell me what you need, bitch. Hold on, y'all. I don't know what happened. Oh, and it stopped at 8:03. It stopped at 8:03, and 8:03 is my childhood home. And what's interesting as well is okay, we about to get into the show in a minute. This is just a little, I'm just talking right now, so y'all just hold space, okay? I had already had the service sales of the week already scheduled for the rest of the year. And so then I went back to do the channel, the daily energy for the rest of the year. And then I went back to record the daily energy for the rest of the year. So when I got to the 22nd, the service of the week for the 22nd is the return to self ritual. And so when I got this download to start on the 22nd, it was like literally this returning to self. That's what this emerge and see energy is all around, us returning back to our core with this duality and not just trying to lean solely in our masculinity, lean solely in our femininity, but to heal the relationship with ourselves and allow for that to trickle externally in our external relationships, okay? So that was just really beautiful as well. But I think I'm done rambling, scrambling like eggs. I'm super, super excited. It's Alana said, go ahead. I'm so excited. He said, we got you. I'm going to be there. I'm gonna be there. I don't care if well, I do care if anybody shows up. But if nobody shows up, remember I told y'all, like before it was 6 of y'all, 14 of y'all, 0 of y'all. Literally, I used to be here talking to the fucking screen. Like I know one day in alignment, I will have my community here to actually engage with me. But in the meantime, I'm gonna talk to them in spirit. When y'all was not here, I still showed up on live. And I was like, welcome in, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and get started talking to my fucking self. And y'all came in divinely as y'all still are scrolling into service, right? And so even when it comes to this, even when it comes to our month-to-month sessions, I'm gonna be there every week. Okay? And I'm excited and I'm holding space for y'all to join me, okay? So, you said I used to tune in when you did the morning segment. I'm talking about before then. It was literally 0 of y'all in here. Literally. I used to call it a rap and chat, where I would rap jewelry, and then I pull a few cards, then I give a little word, then we listen to a little music, aka I listen to a little music, we'll bop out real quick, and then we'll close out. You said, where is it at? It's online. It's virtual. I guess that's what you're talking about. And she would say, yes, I love that. Oh, you already said that. Okay, come on, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into the message of the day, okay? So the message of the day is work smarter, not harder. Work smarter, not harder. I love you, Indigo. And so with that work smarter, not harder, you may have to work harder and smarter right now so you can work less hard later. Okay? I hope, you were able to follow me. Okay? But with this work harder, not smarter, work smarter, not harder energy, that is coming as we shift into this Gemini energy. There's going to be a lot of downloads that the collective receives in regards to how you can get ahead. Right? What needs to be done, how you need to approach, what time you need to leave for work, what you need to do before work, whatever. and it is to make your life easier. And so it's important that we shift our mindset. Peace, Richard. It is important that we shift our mindset when we are gifted these opportunities of change. Remember, we've been talking about the rainstorms, and I know it's been rainy and cloudy with a chance of meatballs all over the world, different places and things like that. And with that stormy energy, that's Oya, right? The winds of change. I do have that ritual available on the website as well. So those of you who are ready to get some energy moving in your life, you know, there could be some obstacles, some blockages, some interferences. But anyway, those downloads we are receiving, like, okay, this is what's moving, this is what's coming in, this is how you need to move. It's important that we not look at these things. It's important that we're mindful of the story that we tell ourselves. Like when you get these visions, when you get these downloads, when you get these callings, how are you speaking to yourself? Are you telling yourself, oh, I can't do it. Oh, it's too heavy. Oh, I can't. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. You're doing yourself a disservice. Okay? So let's speak life into our future. Let's speak life into ourselves. Let's speak power over ourselves. Okay? So you may feel like I'm working hard. Call in that divine guidance. Pray for that clarity. Because there is an easier path. Again, it may require for you to buckle down a little bit in some areas, but ultimately it's going to take that weight off of you in the long term. Let's stop playing catch up. And let's get ahead. And let's stay ahead of the curve. Okay? So let's open our mind. Let's open our hearts to receive the divine guidance so we may align. Because we know as we are evolving, as we're leveling up, we now have more responsibilities. There is more on our plate. You wanted to eat, right? Now you gotta eat. You gotta eat. Bit by bit, we gonna eat. Okay? But we gonna serve as well. We gonna serve as well. Prime example, y'all know I struggle with showing up on time. I'm still kind of struggling a little bit because I'm recording daily energy, but I found a way that helps me, at least mentally, because every show I gotta get the thumbnails together right before the show starts and stuff like that. And this week I'm like, I'm gonna get the thumbnails created, I'm gonna get the titles created for YouTube anyway, and I'm gonna already have that scheduled. So when I sit down, all I gotta do is hit start. And that's helped me a ton. Cause bitch, I've been showing up at like 8:20, 8:23. But if I would have had to do the thumbnails and all that I normally do, I would be here at 8:35. So it's the little things. It's the little things that you can do. Your spirit may be guiding you. Pick your clothes out the day before. You know, drink a cup of tea at the start of your day. I don't know what those things are for you. Right? Write a plan for the week. You what you got to do for your lesson plan for the school or for the week. Let's write it down, make it plan ourselves to adapt and adjust as needed, but let's have a plan. Let's plan ahead. Okay, so that concludes the message of the day, and we're now going to move into the daily energy, y'all. So let's see what we have here. What's today? All right. So I'll be covering the daily energy for the 16th of May. Yes. All right. So we have Ogun energy present. We have Elegwa's energy present. And we have Oshun's energy present. We have Ogun's energy present because 16 adds up to 7, and that's Ogun's number. Ogun is the warrior, god of iron, of war, of protection, and he also clears blockages and removes barriers. Okay, so his energy is present for us to work with. Elegwa's energy is present for us to work with because the daily energy adds up to 21. Papa Legba is the door opener, so he opens the doors. Ogun clears the way. We have Oshun here. as well, because the daily energy adds up to 3. That 21 breaks down to 3, but then it's also Friday, which connects to that Venus, beauty, love, money, success energy. So Oshun's here as well. So we have those 3 deities here for us, right? Some of y'all may have been seeing more bumblebees, seeing more sunflowers, seeing more skulls, seeing more roses, seeing maybe old men with top hats and dogs and canes and things. Some of y'all may have been feeling called to go to the railroad tracks, or to connect with iron, or to build an altar, to create an altar. This is a great day to start that, to learn about these deities, learn about these reflections of yourself. Okay. Connection issues. Can y'all hear pretty well? I do see that 2 or 3 people said they had connection issues on Instagram. Are we good to go? Graffiti said, love the energy for tomorrow already. For sure. So this will be a great time. Ashe to the filter. Y'all know I don't do filters, but ashe to the glow, to the rise, to the glow up. Now, how do I get rid of you? Okay, there we go. I don't know what I did. So this will also be a good day. We want to be mindful of spinning the block, okay, and be mindful of our spending as well. I did channel, speaking of, I was just channeling the message of the day, right? But it's alignment with the daily energy. For the daily energy, I channeled schedule, create a schedule, okay? Order of events. There's a specific way that things need to be done. So this is a good time to ask for clarity, a good time to get a schedule or some kind of plan ahead. Again, I channeled as well, humble yourself and be open to the divine communication. So that's interesting how I was just channeling it divine as always, right? But I was just channeling that for the message of the day. Okay, there is an easier way, y'all. I swear to God, I swear, what my grandma say, right hand on the Holy Bible. I did not look at this daily energy today, and I channeled this daily energy weeks ago. And I just said this. There is an easier way. Be open to the divine communication. So, trust what comes through to you. You said what, Odisha? You said is present. Ogun, Ilegwa, Papa Legba. I've been feeling called to call him Ilegwa lately. Ilegwa and Oshun. Ogun, Oshun, Ilegwa. So the colors for today are yellow, green, red, and black. So that's going to be a beautiful combination to call in all of these energies and work with all of these energies that I mentioned. So that's what we got, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get into our tarot tea time, you and me time. If you would like a reading tonight, y'all can send y'all love offerings in. Again, the doors do close at 9:10. So we got 19 minutes for y'all to send in love offerings if you do want a reading. If y'all don't, we going to close out. Okay, you said I've been called to stop saying Papa Legba. Wow. Yeah, I got to dig a little deeper into that, because I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I just got to really dig a little deeper to see, like, okay, why Ilegwa over. I might want to, I might look up the vibration. I might look up the vibration of the letters to see what the vibration of Papa Legba is and what the vibration of Ilegwa is, and that'll tell me a lot too. You said Ilegwa is a more benevolent spirit. Okay to that. Ashe. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that. And I will be sure to share with y'all what I find with the numerology. You said that L. You say, yeah, I was just about to say the letters. That L. Papa Legba is voodoo. Ashe. Ashe. You said Ilegwa is matured Eshu. Ashe. Look at y'all. See, that's why I love y'all. Ashe. So let's go ahead and move on to let's move on to our tarot tea time. Let's see what we have here today. I want to pull from the Odisha deck. Hold on, my little stone. I slipped through the crack, bitch. Hold up. Did y'all leave your hearts? Where y'all hearts at? Graffiti is the only one. Graffiti, you get a green sticker. Graffiti is the only one. Oh, no, he ain't. Crystal did. Ray Bay did. Blanco did. Where y'all hearts at? TikTok. Y'all drop y'all red, blue, green, and black. Not red, blue. red, yellow, green, and black hearts. So we could tap in energetically. You said Papa Legba Voodoo, Ilegwa Ifa. Oh, Ashe. Ashe. You said the more you know. For sure, the more you know, the more you grow. Right? And what the message of what the daily energy say? Humble yourself and be open to the divine communication. I don't know it all, and I ain't gonna sit here and act like I do, boo. So thank you for sharing that with me, with us. There y'all go. So let's see what we got. Let's see. Y'all, hold on. Okay, so I cut my Wi-Fi off, so that should help with the connection. We should be good with the connection moving forward. Can y'all hear me? GP, are you with me? Oh yeah. Can y'all hear me? Instagram specifically. Thank y'all so much for y'all likes. I see you, Richard. Lord, Richard on did the blue heart. Richard, it was black. I know I said blue. It was red, yellow, black, and green. Red, yellow, black, and green. Nah, I mean. So let's see what we have here. I'm so excited. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see what we got. Who want to show themselves? Okay, y'all can hear me. Great, great, great. Great, 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 great. Hey, Abraham. Goddamn, where you been? Oh, yes. Lakita Masterpiece said, hey to you, Mom. She asked about you the other day. All right. We have Bata drum here. And I'm so loud. Why are you hollering, bitch? The Bata drum is sacred in Yoruba tradition. It is used to communicate with the Orisha through rhythm. It creates a spiritual connection, invoking divine presence during rituals. Its guidance encourages alignment with the rhythm of life, expression, and deepening of the connection of the spiritual world. So with this Bata drum, some of you have a drum, like me. I am some of you. Where's my drum at? My drum back there holding up the damn pens and markers. I guess it say, excuse me, ma'am. I am not a table. But some of y'all may feel called to really connect with some drumming. Even if you don't have your own personal drum, listen to some drumming beats or something like that on YouTube. Or some of y'all may be called to invest in a drum. If you don't have one, go to your local culture shop. I want to pull one more. And that drumming energy also, it connects you to your roots. The ancestors. Okay, give me one more. All right, we have Obatala here. Obatala here, bringing peace, clarity, and wisdom. So with this drumming, I see, and you know, this is metaphorically speaking as well, but I see energy clearing out. So yeah, some of us need to listen to more drumming, more beats. Even if it's Afro beats, house music, and, you know, very powerful frequencies to help clear this energy out. But there's a lot of clarity and wisdom coming through. Some of you are very uncertain about something, and there's like this ding dong moment coming. Somebody's coming home. I just heard a doorbell. And somebody has bags at the door. It does feel like something's returning. This could be a karmic lover from a past life connection. Spicy. You said, I think the connection is worse. Ask everyone. I'm getting nothing. Y'all getting stuff? I got a text from one of the lovelies. You said, I listen to Orisha chants all day. Ashe. I listen to a station called Undenial. It's a group called Black Motion that I love. And so I listen to Undenial as one of their songs. I listen to that station and they be playing all the hits. It's working well for you? Okay. Yeah, y'all good. Okay, so I guess it's just lovely, Laura. Okay, so what we got here? I do feel like I need to add some more. said, damn, I see the comments. Aw. We got now is the time. Expenses paid in full. Now is the time. What's this? What's this? Now is the time. We have jealousy. Keep them on the need to know. So there may be something that's taking action, that's taking off, somebody that's coming home, something that's popping off. And Spirit's like, keep them on the need to know here with this jealousy. But it's your time. Now it's your time now. It's your time now. We have spring. Spring has sprung. Spring has sprung. This is this is connected to some seeds that you have planted. And we are moving into summer season. The summer solstice is coming up on the 20th of June. And so that's when things are going to be full bloom here. We have manipulate. Don't allow for the truth to be altered. You know. But that's in reverse. So with this Obatala energy, some of y'all have definitely, you're able to see through the illusion of something. There was some truth or something. Some of y'all really had like low self-esteem or low self-worth, was trying to figure out why you were not chosen, why they picked them over you, why you were denied, why you were rejected or something like that. And that rejection, it calls for you to look inside. It calls for you to look in the mirror. It's like it activated, it triggered some kind of awakening here to where now you're no longer manipulated. You're no longer manipulated. Somebody no longer makes you feel jealous. Maybe it was some jealousy, envious energy that you had to kind of navigate. Okay, somebody could be an Aries, Gemini, Taurus. We have release letter. Yes. Like I said, you've released that, or there's this releasing that's happening. Release letter, early release. Early release. Somebody was under manipulation. Somebody was under a spell. This was like some karmic energy that had a grip on somebody or on something. We have shush. Keep this a secret. Wow. So keep them on the need to know. Shush. Keep this a secret. Release letter. Bitch, I told you. Didn't I say spicy? I thought the spicy. Peace. Welcome in, Mocha. Oh, that's Midori. Hi, Midori. Hey, Midori. What we got? We have exercise more. Keep this a secret. Exercise more. What's this exercise more? Hold on. Give me one for this exercise more. I said one, but okay, great. At the top of the deck here, we have focus on your desires. So you definitely want to exercise your third eye. That's what I'm getting. Exercise your third eye as well as, yeah, okay, cool. As we are entering Gemini season, Gemini rules the throat, right? So you want to exercise that throat chakra more. You want to exercise that third eye more when it comes to your vision, right? You want to exercise that crown chakra more with that purple, right? Come on, the purple and blue. Come on, the purple and the blue. The throat chakra too. Okay, but with the crown of Obatala, we definitely want to exercise those chakras more and focus on our desired income and outcome, bitch. Come the fuck on. I wasn't trying to say that, but it came out. But we have Aries. I picked up on that Aries energy. Okay, so somebody could be a fire sign, but even though, oh yeah, and this is taking me back to the Venus and Aries transit that is present right now. Okay, and when we talked about that Venus and Aries, Venus entering Aries, that was the divine masculine and divine feminine emerging. So this could definitely be some kind of emperor, some kind of masculine energy that is coming in. We have birds of a feather. So this is somebody that's equally yoked, or this is an opportunity that is in alignment. We have tomorrow. We have positive vibes and negative vibes. Wow. So we have a Libra energy here as well. With this positive and negative, I'm seeing Gemini, but I saw specifically Libra. Somebody may be a Libra. We have huge opportunity. Tomorrow, birds of a feather, Aries here. So somebody could pop up on you tomorrow. Yeah. Or something can pop up tomorrow. But this birds of a feather, somebody's ready to ascend with you. And this can be a group of people as well, because this Aries is leadership energy. So this can be like some kind of tribe, some kind of community here. So negative vibes, energy don't lie, positive vibes. Focus on your desire regardless of what's happening. Hashay. You said, is Elegua gracing us with a spiritual lesson tonight? I am not sure. I am not sure. He's down there in his bag as he always is, so we'll see when that time comes. All right, y'all, we got a few minutes before the doors close for personal readings. If you do want one, this is your last call for alcohol to send in your love offering. We have welcome home. No, it don't say that. It's a new edition. Welcome. Okay? New edition. Welcome. And I'm hearing the song, Can You Stand the Rain? I'm seeing, now I heard Missy Elliott. I can't stand the rain against my window. But the first Can You Stand the Rain was the song by, was it New Edition? What's their name, bitch? Don't do me. Don't do me. Sunny days, everybody loves them. Can you stand the rain? So this was like it's something that has been happening for a while, or something that you've been waiting for a while, a storm that has lasted forever. It feel like we have settling down. Somebody's ready to settle. This feels like it's more around relationship, or it could be, I mean, work. You know, something can have you could be settling into something, but we have settling down. New edition. Welcome. The time is now. You've pondered long enough, so this showed up again. You said new edition? Okay, great. Okay, hold on. We have royals. We have justice. I told you I saw this, Libra. Dreams into reality. Ah! I love this for you. We have the royals. Door opener elect. Ah! Door opener access granted. This is Elegua's energy. This is Elegua's energy. The door has been opened for this new edition, this energy to come in, for you to align with this dream reality, for justice to be served. Ogun, the fuck? Y'all know Ogun is the god of justice. Didn't we talk about them tomorrow? Didn't we talk about them? You don't know like I know what he's done for me. Shit. We got kindred spirits. I told you, bitch. Kindred spirits. Twin flame. Soul tribe. So this new edition that's settling down, whatever, like I said, it's something that's resonant with your soul. Twin flame, soulmate energy, soul tribe, bitch. Manifestations coming into fruition. Continue to feed that energy that aligns with your heart. You said I need to visit the crossroads tomorrow. Yeah, I visited today. I had did some rituals. I dropped my rituals off there today, but I'm gonna have to spend a block tomorrow. What else we got? For your eyes only, crying, major release. Somebody's faith was definitely being tested. Somebody's faith is definitely being tested, man. We got to keep them on the need to know for your eyes only. Somebody has eyes for you only. Or even if it's not around relationships, whatever it is, this spotlight that you're stepping into, it's like all eyes on you. Some of y'all may even see like people are staring at you in public. And you're like, what the hell they looking at? Why they keep looking at me? Why they keep looking at me? Positive vibes, because your energy, though. A lot of us had to do a lot of shedding just to align. Just to align with this energy, right? You had these desires. these big dreams, these big goals, but maybe you were vibrating low because you were carrying something heavy. There was some healing that needs to be had. There was some understanding that needed to be had, or something like that. Some forgiving that needed to happen. Some magic that you needed to tap into, or whatever. Maybe you had to really cleanse your heart with this Obatala energy so you can manifest from a place of light, positive intentions, right? I was talking to a lovely a while ago, not too long ago, and they were just talking to me about them being tried. And we laughed because I was like, they don't know. If they would have caught you a few months ago, or last year or something like that, you would have been in a whole different space. You would have been in a whole different space, okay? They would have got dealt with in a different way, okay, bitch? And so some of y'all are like, y'all have come far. Y'all have come far. So far. So far. Okay? Some of y'all used to want to take things into your own hands and seek vengeance. You know what I mean? Like, they want to fuck around with you. You gonna make sure they find out type shit. And some of y'all been moving more to like, you know what? I'm gonna give it to God. You know what? I'm gonna give it to my ancestors. You know what? I'm gonna do this protection ritual, right? I'm gonna set up a force field so it could just boomerang, because I ain't got time to be sitting here kumbaya doing rituals on them or sending energy to them. Like, I don't got time for that. I don't want to operate out of that dark green heart space anymore, that evil eye heart space anymore. I don't want to have to tell somebody to fuck off and exert my energy to be heard, to be respected. How can I actually move into that and command that respect without me having to say a word? How can I energetically shift the room, in a way that serves all, right? Blanco said, you better know it, baby. For surely. What we got? All right, it's 9/11. I did got a personal reading. I do got a personal reading. So we're going to close out now. That's it. We got wolf in sheep's clothing. We got playing ahead. We have car troubles. So somebody may have some issues with some cars. Somebody may have to carpool soon or something like that. Well, somebody may be getting blessed with another car. With this new edition car trouble, somebody may be getting a new car soon, or having 2 to 3 cars. We have journal. Watch your mouth. So be intentional with that of what you speak on. Speak with purpose, right? We have journal. Some of y'all may want to jot some shit down, write some notes, mark your calendars. And we have minimize distraction. And we have twins here. Twins may be significant. And we have minimize distractions, okay? And gossip. All right, because as we move into this Gemini energy, Geminis can be very talkative and lean more into that gossip and that shadow aspect. So we want to be mindful of that. Okay, there could be some information that comes your way, just kind of help you connect some dots and just kind of take it and do what you may with it. But you don't got to necessarily talk back and forth about it. But you might want to ask some questions like for clarity, and then just like leave it there. You said confirmation. Just said I'm about to sit my car down and get a new one. Congratulations. So that's what we got, y'all. So our declaration is going to be, I am powerful as fuck. Y'all can say AF if y'all want to curse. I am powerful as fuck. I am powerful as fuck. I am powerful as fuck. If you nut, then you buck, boy. And I'm a damn hold on your damn street. Jumping, bumping. What crossroads are you going to tomorrow? You act like you gonna meet me there. You gonna meet me there at Spur. You gonna meet, oh, you talking about to graffiti because y'all live in Baltimore. Oh, okay. Like, what you gonna meet me there? Meet me at the trial. Okay. So let's go ahead, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and move into the personal readings real quick. You said I am powerful as fucking all caps. I know that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let me see. And when you say fuck, you gotta like tuck the lip. Bulk. Okay? Who we got? Let's see who sent in love offerings. Oh, thank you to 7055 for just a little love. Thank you. I love you. I send it back times a million. Times a million. Who else we got? Times a million, to be clear. Divine Beauty for a love reading. Divine Beauty, little cutie, where you at, babe? Yup, I'm powerful as fuck. Come the fuck with it, bitch. Okay, come on, y'all. I love this for y'all. Y'all gotta share the glass flow. I can't talk. Tell the glass flow. What's the glass flow? Y'all gotta share the glass flow. Y'all gotta share the glass. Y'all gotta share it, bitch. The guapole, the close to my dreams. Y'all gotta get it. If you know, you know. Y'all gotta share the gospel. All right, so this love reading for Lovely. Let me tell the goss I'm ready. See if he gonna skip tonight. I'm ready, bitch. We been on it. Ready. See what he got to say. You said that's my shit. Oh, Nuck If You Buck for surely. I just really fucks with like the first the first chapter, bitch, the first verse, and then after that I'd be like, all right, bitch, what a love that cat. Hold on, what a love that cat. What's over there? I do feel like there is an altar that you're being called to create, or where you do your love works. There's a love ritual that needs to be done. I'm picking up for you, baby boo. Where you at? Peace, Manny. You said the Odie should rejoice every time I work with them. Ashe. They was rejoicing today when I was setting up the service for the Soul Circle. They was hype as fuck. You said the rain came down so serene after I finished with my meditation. Ashe. Peace, better. Where you at, boo? What's her name again? Divine Beauty. Divine Beauty Love. Peace, Lala. You said, wow, I miss you. Welcome back. You said, I am powerful as fuck. Okay, come on. Divine Beauty. Serious conversation. Show it. New perspective. Time with friends. Oh, you're Divine Beauty. Oh, okay. Hey! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I told you. All right, so we have connected. This is beautiful. So we have serious conversation, show it. So it's time for you to show up in the way that maybe you've been talking or the way you truly feel here with this serious conversation. We have a new perspective and time with friends, okay? So you may feel called to like really connect more with this person, or yeah, whatever this is around. I do feel like this person feels like a friend to you, and they're like changing the way you view love or the way you view people. It does feel like somebody is definitely showing up in alignment with their words, but it does feel like it's time for you to give yourself permission to do that. I would recommend, I will be adding some candles to the website very, very soon, for like unions and like reconciliation and things like that. So yeah, I do feel like there's a ritual that need to be had in regards to, strengthening this connection and allow yourself to feel safe in this space. Okay, but we do have the sweetener here. So there is definitely some sweet love, some sweet energy here that you are already connected to. You just need to continue to do the work to allow yourself to show it and to receive it. But we have influencer. Be true to yourself and remember your influence extends beyond what is visible. So you carry that yin and yang energy with you very heavily, which is very, very healing, very motherly. So when you allow yourself to lean into that, it's literally a very beautiful and serene space to be in. So I would recommend I would recommend creating like a sweetener jar is what I'm getting. Okay, write a letter to like your future and your future partner or your future partner. Write a letter. I need to get these damn jars, y'all. I need to get these damn jars. I have some jars that I'm going to be bringing to the website, and they're going to be custom to where you can like set your own intentions, and I have all the tools to create a jar for you, and it could be around love. Like I have these cute little heart jars that are specifically for love. So just stay tuned, baby boo. But there is some sweetness that's here for you that you are being called to open yourself up to. Okay? So that's what I have for you, babe. We have seek help. So again, just continue to be open to the divine guidance. You said, oh yeah, I got a new journal today and documented some passages for this week. Ashe. So thank y'all for sharing this space, y'all. As y'all can see, Brother Lagaz is joining us tonight. We have missed him, and I'm excited to see what he has for us today. And so y'all stay with us. Again, head over to the website, CrystalineMars.com, to book your personal services, to join our emergency soul sessions, as well as take advantage of the 15% off site-wide sale. Okay? And don't forget to order your sacred sand as well. When it comes to that healing and that wisdom energy, you can add that sacred sand to your rituals as well as to your baths. And for the candles are on sale. You just have to like add it to your cart, and then you'll see the sale discount. You said, I love that deck. Me too. All right. So, yeah. So I'm about to go ahead and put these cards away so I can move out the way divinely. Of course. Peace, fear, my dear. Hey, welcome in here. Welcome in here. And y'all order y'all abundance set, y'all. We have, this is a personal order that I'm about to ship out, but we have our gorgeous abundance ring. All right, our 7-stone ring, super, super gorgeous. And it's available as a set. If I'm not mistaken, it's available as a set. But we have them in the earrings as well. Super, super, super gorgeous. Great for attracting money, for focus, confidence, courage, as well as doing some astral traveling. So y'all go over there and get what y'all need. What else Lovely got? Lovely also has, she got the chakra ring. She got a few of them. What else she got? And then I think she got the beautiful, clearly protected evil eye earrings. I love these. These are so gorgeous. I have yet to make me some, but they're so freaking cute and simple. And they're all 15% off. Y'all oils. Y'all know how we do. And if you don't, go find out, baby boo. All right, so I think Brother Lagaz is ready. You said, I see brother is with us. Ashe, I so needed this energy for sure. All right. All right, peace and love, y'all. Later.
Peace, family. Today's lesson is on leadership. I know I've talked about leadership quite a few times. It's been a little while. I don't know if I've taught this particular lesson. I probably have, but it's a very important one. It's one that I share every once in a while with other people. Is the 5 levels of leadership. Now, I've read an okay number of books on leadership. Not a whole lot, but quite a few. And there's always one book that always stood out to me that I have forever permanently imprinted in my mind. And that is the 5 levels of leadership. That way no matter, the reason why this is so important to remember this, because it can be difficult to decide or to decipher or to figure out, am I a good leader? Am I being a leader? Am I actually showing good leadership qualities? Am I doing the right things as a leader, right? And the reason why it can be difficult is because, and this could be no matter what's in the spiritual field, the family area, career, business, sports teams, mentorship, dealing with children, nieces, nephews, peers, what have you, right? It can be difficult to truly understand because there are going to be people that disagree with your leadership style. There's going to be people that disagree with your choices. There's going to be people that have friction against whatever you're doing, saying, promoting, teaching, guiding, etc. Right? So I use this as a barometer to always to reflect on, because understand that whether people have good intentions or bad intentions or have their ulterior motive, right? Whatever quote unquote reflection that they are so-called giving you could be an accurate reflection or it could be an inaccurate reflection, right? How do we know? Well, you need to have some sort of mirror. I use this as my mirror. The 5 levels of leadership that I got from John C. Maxwell over 10 years ago, right? First level of leadership is people follow you because they have to. You're the mom, you're the dad, you're the big brother, you're the big sister. You are the captain of the team. You are the manager. You are the shift leader, right? You hold some sort of status that forces some number of people to have to follow you, otherwise, there are consequences, right? That's the basic level, right? Level 2, people follow you, listen to you because they like you, right? And that doesn't mean that you have necessarily the best answers for them, but for whatever reason, people dislike you, or that particular person or persons like you. Maybe you are just a kind person. Maybe they just like your style. Maybe they like how you do things. Maybe you just have a trustworthy type of personality, right? Etc. Things like that, right? Maybe you are is very charismatic. Hold up, we got one of the. Let me fix this TikTok. Got the little puzzle thing up. Hold on. I guess I did it wrong. Okay. So yeah, people follow you because they like you, or they look up to you because they just like who you are as a person, right? Now, these 2 things can only get you so far. They can only get you so far, right? People follow you because they have to. Okay, that's great. The person's following you or listening to you because they have to. It doesn't mean that they're going to be successful or achieve happiness or get good results out of life just because they're under your leadership out of force, right? People follow you because they like you. Once again, maybe you like to give them candy. Maybe you give them special treatment, right? Or maybe you're just a good-looking person, right? So people just like you because you're good-looking. That does not mean that you're a good leader, right? That doesn't mean that you're a good leader. So that's the thing. People can really like you. They can really praise you, and yet you still be a bad leader. Why? Because at the end of the day, leadership is based off of the most important aspect of leadership is the level 3 leader. Is people follow you, they listen to you, they go to you for advice, right? Because of the results that you get, whether that's spiritually, whether that's through some sort of mental apparatus, right? Through maybe communication, speaking, reading, writing, whatever, teaching, things like that, right? Maybe it's through, emotionally, where you're able to connect and help people, resolve their problems or issues, right? Like I said, maybe it is spiritually, maybe it's through manifestations, maybe it's through empathy, maybe it's through different metaphysical modalities, numerology, zodiology, if that's the way you would say it, right? Cartomancy, things like cosmology, things like that, through the different orishas or through the different netters or the different angels or whatever, right? Or whether it's, physically, through a performance, through protection, right? Through things like through just sheer force and ability, right? Right. These are all different ways, but you get the results that are economically, right? Economically, or through maintenance and handyman type of work, right? Some sort of critical thinking or problem solving abilities, right? Do you get the results that are needed? Do you get the results that we're looking for? Do you get the results that improve other people's lives or situation, or even improve your own life and situation, right? Are you the person that is getting those results? Okay, that is the best reason for someone to, are you getting the results for yourself in your own life? Are you getting the results for other people in their lives? Ashe. If you're getting results, then it does not matter whether people like the way you're doing it or don't like the way you're doing it, whether people are complaining about it or they're cheering you on. If you are getting the results, then you'll know that you are always on the correct path, right? Now, the next level is then becoming a level 4 leader. A level 4 leader, right, helps other individuals to become level 3 leaders, which basically means helps other individuals to become capable of getting their own results. You teaching them the skills, you help improving their competency so that they are able to create results, manifest results that makes other people want to follow, learn, be guided, ask for help, assistance from them. Ashe. That's a level 4 leader, equipping them with the skills, the know-how, knowledge to get results on their own, especially if that's what they desire, right? And then the last one, which may be the most difficult one, but I guess the H level would be more difficult, wouldn't it be? The last one is a level 5 leader. A level 5 leader is someone that guides other already successful level 3 leaders and guides them to the point to where you are teaching them how to be teachers. You are coaching coaches. You're coaching coaches to what? To create level 3 leaders, where you're no longer creating a level 3 leader. You're no longer creating people that get results. Instead, you are coaching others to teach them how to coach their underlings, their supporters, or their followers, or their subordinates, right? You're coaching them on how to turn their own employees or there's individuals that are on the level right underneath them that are following them. You're teaching the teachers how to create more level 3 leaders, results, success, even happiness, respect, but success is centered around results. Are you getting results? It's not necessarily, it's not about winning necessarily all the time, because not everything is a competition, but everything is about results. Are you getting what? Positive results? Are you getting improvement? Are you getting growth? Are you getting strengthening? Are you getting results? And a successful society is one where there are more and more and more people that are becoming result getters and result creators, right? The more people that exist that can get results, that can achieve growth and improvement, right? The better off we are all as a society. So that's why level 5, the idea is to then, you already know how to teach others how to get results. Well, if you can teach the result getters how to teach others how to get the results, then it can keep getting passed down. and it spreads out. It's just like a family tree, but it's a result tree. That result tree multiplies each line that it goes down, right? If I'm a level 5 and I was a level 4 before, and I got to level 3, and then I became a level 4, and now I have groomed 5 people to be level 3s. Now me plus them, that's 6 people that get results, right? We have times it times 6 the amount of results that we can get. And then if I turn those people into level 4 leaders, right, then they all get 5 people that they turn into level 3. It's like almost like a what you call a pyramid type of, as a pyramid scheme almost type of deal, right? But it is a pyramid where that's 5, that's 25. Now we got me plus them plus the 5 plus each of them has 5. I think it ended up being like 30 altogether. It's like 31, right? When you add me, it's like 31 people now are getting results. All because you're able to teach other people how to teach other people how to get results. So that's why this is such a powerful chart, such a powerful thing to recognize, to understand what level are you on. Because if you believe that you're a leader, and you say, I'm not a follower, I'm a leader, that's fine. Well, what level are you on? Because a lot of people are not really getting results, to tell you the truth. There's a lot of false leaders who believe, well, I'm a leader. Are you getting results? If you're not really getting results, then you might not really be a leader. Well, the thing is anyone following you because they like you? Is anyone following you, period? If no one's even following you in the first place, it can be kind of iffy, right? But if you're getting results, even if no one necessarily following you, if you're getting results in your life, like real results, then, and you're getting results that that affect and improve other people's lives and situations in some type of way, or you're helping others to get results, or you're helping them to get results with you in some type of way, then yes, you can at least say, I'm a level 3, and that yes, I am a leader of some sort. But if you're not getting this, then you have to then rely on the other two. Are people following me because they like me? Are they following me because they have to, right? If there are people following you in some type of way, they're underneath you in some type of way, well, then you gotta ask yourself, is it because they like me or is it because they have to? And if it's just because they have to, that means by force, right? If it's just because they have to, because you're the manager or the assistant manager, whatever, they're underneath you. Well, or they're the child. Right? If they just have to, then understand that means that they don't really respect you. And they're not really going to support you, especially in great times of need. And they're there just because. And that also means if you lose that title, then you lose all power, period. The other one, if they follow you just because they like you, well, that is better because that's better than force, right? But if they follow you just because they like you, understand that there could be a day where they don't like you. And what happens when people usually don't like you, they used to like you, now they don't like you anymore, you lose that credibility, you lose that connection, you lose that authority. But if they follow you because of the results you get, people will follow you whether they like you today or whether they dislike you today. Because as long as the results keep coming, you're like, you know what, I'll do what he or she says. I'll follow it, or I'll support, or blah, blah. I may not like them today, but I know the results are going to be there. I'll say. So that is today's lesson, or spiritual lesson, if you want to call it that. And we'll go into the Q&A. I'll share peace over to the TikTokers. Glad to have you guys back in. Peace over to everybody on all the OGs on IG, as well as all of the YouTubers. We appreciate all of the likes, shares, subscribes, and the reposts, all of the love offerings, and the Cash Apps, and the Zells, and the Super Chats, and the Apple Pays. Shay. Shay to forgive, endure, affirm, reform. Shay to you, Shay to attune to Ken. This thing is kind of like blocking me a little bit. Peace to attune to Ken and creative of creation. Let's see. Peace to Juanita and to graffiti. Shay, about to take my cleanse, he says, so I won't be around for Q&A. Ashe. I'm coming for a live spiritual clearing tomorrow. Ashe to that graffiti. Ashe. I'll give y'all a minute or two to decide if you have anything, questions, comments, or concerns, anything you want to add to the conversation. Graffiti says, dope lesson, though. Good to see you, OG. Shay, appreciate it, graffiti. Great to always, check in on the fam. Peace to Yadi Rivera. Tunikin says, hey, Lagas, so a bit off topic, but when a man releases his life force, can the woman absorb that energy? Just like it's vice versa when a woman releases. Shade to that. Yes, a woman can definitely absorb the energy. I mean, well, as a woman or a man can, you can always absorb your partner's or anybody else's energy at any time. It's just during a release, right? We're talking about like a sexual release. That's just when that's when the energy is just more accessible because it's been released, right? It's been opened up. The portal has been opened up, right? So it's the easiest at that time to absorb their energy. It's the easiest at that time to absorb their energy. Now, me personally, when I release, I actually reabsorb my own energy back into my being. I've been practicing that for at least a couple years, maybe a few years now. Whenever I release, I focus on reabsorbing it back into my being, right? One, because if when you just let it release and you don't do anything with it, you don't it tires you out when you release, right? So I find reabsorbing it keeps me from feeling that grogginess or feeling drained or any of those type of things, right? I feel fine afterwards. Also, when you reabsorb that energy, now that energy is stimulated, is activated, so now you can actually use that energy to do other things if you so choose at that time. Because you want to release, but you want to maintain it. It's not really supposed to be a release. It's supposed to be more of like an opening. Like I'm opening myself. It's an ignition and ignite. You're igniting your Kundalini energy, but what we're doing is we're igniting and then we're just letting it leave our being instead of igniting it and then holding on to it and using it for your own strengthening and healing and things like that. Because that energy was laying kind of dormant until you released, or you really just opened yourself up now through that quote unquote release. You open yourself up now that it's open, you can reabsorb your own energy. But you can also, like I said, when your partner releases, you can absorb their energy as well, and vice versa. Toonkin says that was my next question because I feel like during my 1 year and going celibacy, I have been possibly reabsorbing mine, but a mental exercise on how to consciously absorb our own sexual energy, please. Well, yeah, it's very easy actually. All you have to do is it's easy to say, it may not be easy for everyone to understand. But you see the energy. Just imagine it. It's very simple. So once you release the energy, once you've climaxed, right? Once you ejaculated, once you get to that point, boom, you then imagine the energy floating, around you, like it's around you. And then you imagine, I breathe in. And as I'm breathing in, I'm absorbing, right? And as you breathe out, like when I breathe out, I imagine it swirling around my being, right? But that's it's a very simple exercise. You just, as you're breathing in, and it's easier when you're using your hands. You imagine this energy, right? Whatever color it may show up to you as. Usually, I see it as white. Right? But I see that this white energy, I'm just absorbing it back into my body. I usually like to push it back into my heart chakra. That's where I imagine the energy flowing into my heart chakra. So that's what I usually do. When I do it, that seems to be work the best for me. Ashe. I guess the heart chakra would be a good place to put it too, because the heart chakra represents the body, the actual physical body itself, the organs, the immune system, all those things, right? It's the most in tune with the physical overall body, especially dealing with like strength. Tuna Ken says, aftercare for women after releasing, like do's and don'ts to protect the portal just open. Aftercare. Well, when it comes to the aftercare for a woman, you shouldn't need aftercare if you do the pre-care. You shouldn't need aftercare if you do the pre-care. It shouldn't be much aftercare. The pre-care would be that you're in a clean environment, spiritually and physically, you're in a clean environment when participating in the activity. You're with the right energy type of person, right? You're in the right mind space as well. You're eating the right foods, things like that. So otherwise, the only aftercare that's really necessary is to make sure you're just reabsorbing the energy into your heart chakra. But if you're in the right environment, if everything's right in the environment, then you shouldn't really need a whole lot of aftercare. You should just be able to relax after that, and just kind of bask in the energy, and maybe go into a light or deep, depending on you, how you feel at the time, meditation. And how long does that released energy linger around? Like before going to sleep, might need to protect before hitting the astral. That's a good question. I have to think about that question, because a release doesn't necessarily, all releases are not created equal. So depending on the intensity of your release, if you're releasing to the point to where it's opening your third eye, see, not all releases open the third eye or the crown chakra, right? especially for men. We're usually opening a lot of the lower chakras. The women, you can be releasing the lower chakra, but it is more accessible for you to release the higher chakras as well. So it does depend, one, on how intense the release is and how many chakras you're actually opening up. So that's one thing. Two, once again, if you're in the right environment, then there shouldn't be anyone around that you should have an issue with. But if you're saying going into the astral world, well, that's the thing. If you're going to sleep into the astral world, it doesn't matter if you've already had the release or not, because the astral world is the astral world, meaning that the door is open no matter what, whether you have released before or not, because you're in the astral world, which means there is a door that opened up. So every time you go to sleep and you go into the astral world, the door is already open, right? The release that you may or may not participate in beforehand doesn't make any difference. The door is still open, right? So that part doesn't really matter. When it comes to the astral world and going into the dream world, the protection you need is really the ability to defend yourself. So it's just like, if you're living by yourself and you do things by yourself, you go places by yourself, well, more than likely you're going to have to protect yourself, right? And whether you are a man or a woman, right, and whether you are half naked, running around half naked outside or out in the streets, or if you just kind of go home and to yourself, right? Some certain situations are you're more likely to run into trouble than others, but no matter the situation, you're by yourself, you're going to have to learn how to defend yourself, how to protect yourself. It may be weapons, and it may be hand-to-hand combat, right? And also maybe energetically. So the same thing happens when you're sleeping, when you're in the astral world. What kind of tools do you have to protect yourself? It doesn't matter what you did before. You can say that you're maybe a little more open because of you released. You could say that. But at the end of the day, you're open anyway. So the question really is, what kind of weapons do you have? What kind of combat skills do you have when you go into those astral worlds? So, meaning, weapons could be like your crystals that you may sleep with, or certain herbs that you may burn beforehand, or a dream catcher. Having a dream catcher around your bed is very protective, right? Having certain sigils, around your bed is very protective. Doing prayers. Doing prayers before you go to sleep, that is a weapon to protect you while you're sleeping, right? But sometimes that's not enough, and we all want to be able to, what if you don't have those things at your disposal? What if you can't, what if you just fall asleep, Well, then that next level is do you have the hand-to-hand combat skills, right? And the hand-to-hand combat skills in the astral world is, are you conscious enough? Are you aware enough when you're in that realm, that when you run into some issues, when you run into certain types of energies and beings, can you get them off of you? Can you stop them from infiltrating you? Can you, change the scenario within the dream world, right? This is where you got to do a lot of imagination work before you go to sleep. This is where having a quick prayer that you've memorized over and over and over again, so when you're in the dream world, when you're getting attacked, when you feel that spiritual attack, you just start saying the prayer itself in the dream, in the astral world, and you start to remove and break hold of that energy that is, trying to take over you in that astral world, right? So that's hand-to-hand combat type of skills in that world. Ashe. As far as how long does the energy linger around, I couldn't tell you how long it lingers, but I would say that, I mean, how long does it feel when you release? How long do you feel it? On average, then that's probably about how long, how long are you at that high? Especially for women, y'all are more in tune to this type of feeling. How long does a high usually feel? Well, that high feeling, the length of that kind of gives you a good indication of how long the energy sticks around, right? So I would say, the strongest part is within about the first 2-3 minutes after a release. That's when you want to immediately start to absorb. Really, as soon as you, within the first 10 seconds after the release, like I said, but for women, y'all could take a little while to come back down. But even still, then, as soon as you release, or while you're releasing, once you stop the actual releasing process, right? Which for men, like I said, it's kind of like once it happens, it happens. For women, it can kind of last depending on what you're doing. But once it stops, once you start to come down, then within those first 30 seconds or so, or a minute, you want to start to absorb that energy into you, right? You at least want to do it, I say, within the first, no later than for a man, no later than a couple minutes. For a woman, maybe definitely no later than 10 minutes. But I would try to get it within at least 5 minutes after the release. Because at the 10-minute mark, you're gonna have a lot of energy is gonna be gone. It's gonna be dissipated. Shay. Corey Wickland says, if you are tight enough in your light body with Christ, He protects you, so you don't need to have the fear Satan energy. Maybe in all honesty, God does not fight, or Jesus or whoever, or Christ, they don't fight all of our battles. That's not how it works. They can be there to fight some of the battles, but they're not going to be fighting all of your battles, all of the demons, all of this. That's just not how God works, right? Because how could we get stronger if God or Jesus or Christ or whatever just comes in, and every time there's a demon, every time there's a darkness energy, they come and just save the day? That's not how it works. That's not how it works, right? Because what does God need? An army. God has an army, right? God needs an army. He don't want no weak soldiers, right? So you can't really rely on that God or Christ or Jesus is gonna come and just save you every time there's I don't care how much prayer you do. He and them, they might help you out sometimes, but most of the time you gotta do your own. You gotta be ready for war. You gotta be ready to fight. Because even God, even Christ don't want no weak soldiers. So that's something to take into consideration, Corey. The higher you go into consciousness, the more protection you receive from God in the night. Kind of, right? The higher you go in consciousness, the more you're able to protect yourself. Because the higher you go into consciousness, the more power you're accessing from God. Tuna Ken says, so for emotional energy, how do you stop or control how much emotion you give to others? It's a good question. I struggle with over-emotionalism real bad sometimes, like a leaky heart chakra, sacral maybe, Ashe. How do you control the amount of emotions you give to others? Well, one, you have to you have to have a category for everybody. And in those categories, you have to predetermine how much of yourself you're going to give to certain people in certain categories, right? Whether associates, friends, best friends, certain family members, things like that, right? It is it's kind of an extensive amount of lists and thinking that you have to do to really come up with this. It's hard to really just answer in a clear, concise way. But you, in a sense, you have to decide ahead of time how much of yourself you are willing to give to each individual. You have to decide ahead of time. And you have to decide also ahead of time, at what point am I going to, all right, this is how much I want to give this certain individual, this certain person. If they do certain things, I'll give a little bit more. If they do other certain things, I'll take a little bit more from them. And you have to stick to that. You have to stick to that, right? You don't have to tell them this, but you have to decide, okay, this is how much I'm going to give them at this moment. If they do certain things, I'll give more. If they do certain things that I don't agree with or disagree with, I'll give less. And then you have to stick to that, right? You have to stick to that. Where people usually mess up who give too much emotional energy is people who feel that if I give more of my energy, that will somehow convince the other person to, return it back to me, right? You're giving a certain amount of energy, they're not giving you that energy back. So then you try to give more of energy and they're just not giving you that energy, but then you keep trying to give more. See, that's where people mess up. It's like, because you want something, because you maybe really want that person to acknowledge you, or you want to have a connection with that person, or you just want whatever that you want, right? And one, that's the wrong reason for trying to give anything to anybody in the first place. And that becomes another reason why people get caught up in giving too much of their emotional energy to other people, is because you are looking for a particular thing in return. And that's why so many people get messed up, because if you're doing something for somebody, hoping that they, doing something for other people in hopes that they will, to try to convince them to give something back in return, is a slippery slope. Right? You're supposed to be inspired to do things and to give things to other people, whether or not they return it or not. And then if they give it something in return, that's supposed to inspire you to give more. But if they don't give anything in return, or don't give much in return, then that's just supposed to inspire you to give less. Right? So you're supposed to use the inspiration, the amount of inspiration that you're feeling from them, that you're receiving from them, to be the fuel, the fire of how much energy you're going to give to them, right? If you meet somebody, you see somebody, or come across somebody, and you have this natural inspiration to give certain amount of energy, that's okay. Follow that energy. But then as soon as you feel uninspired, then it makes sense to pull back then, right? So, that's in a nutshell, that's how that works. Graffiti says, what does it take to be a level 3 and higher spiritual leader? What does it take to be a level 3 and higher spiritual leader? Well, it means very simple. Knowing how the spiritual realm works, right? Knowing how manifestation works, knowing how spiritual protection works, knowing how colors and different foods and herbs and prayers and different deities and entities and different types of meditations and different types of rituals and different other metaphysical concepts, whether it be the stars and the planets and the days and the months and the numbers and the sign, the zodiac sign, the constellations and the cartomancy, and just knowing how these things work and actually using them in a way that gets results. Whether it's that protection, whether it's that money, whether it's that enlightenment, whether it's that connection, whether it's that reveal, whatever it is, right? Whether it's that activation, getting results from the actual practice of spirituality. That is spiritual. That is result getting. That's a spiritual 3. I mean, that's a level 3. That's a level 3, right? And the idea is the more results you get, right? The bigger the results that you get, and the more results that you get, the more of a level 3 leader you become. See, level 3 is tricky. It's tricky because you can easily fall out of the level 3. You can fall out of it, right? You can get results today. You might have got results all, of April, but then you stop getting results in May. And then you don't get results in June, you don't get results in July. And it's like, yeah, I got results early in the year, but now I'm not getting results anymore. You can fall out of level 3, just like you can fall out of level 2. People can like you today and not like you tomorrow. So level 3, it does have its weight. It does have its stress, its responsibility. You have to keep up. You have to keep getting more and more results. And when you stop getting results, you lose that status. Shame. So it does have a heavy responsibility to it. Peace to May Zings. So I know I missed a good lesson. That's all right. You have to hit the playback on them. This is going to be a YouTube. Yep, it'll be on YouTube. Yeah, we're recording on YouTube. Shay. Wickland says, without Christ, you can't fight in spirit and win without him alone. You would be taken out without him. Well, I mean, there's no indication that that's necessarily the case. There's nothing saying that like without, because remember, there were beings that had to fight the demons before that there was a Christ, right? Unless you're saying Christ always existed, well then sure, right? But there's always light soldiers, whether they're, no matter what level of connection to Christ or no connection to Christ, right? So it's not, I'm not saying that the Christ energy can definitely definitely could have great assistance to you, but it's not the end all be all energy in order to fight against, just like there's different types of dark energies, and not all just the same dark energies. All the light energies are not it's not just all one light energy either. There are different levels, different tiers, and different, it's not blanketed. Well, here's the thing, Core Wickland. So when you say he is your light body, without him, I don't know why you keep saying that he is a him, but whatever. Without him, you would not be. Well, if he is my light body, and without him, I would not be, that would mean that I am him. According to those words, I'm nothing but Christ. I'm nothing but God. I'm nothing but the higher power. I'm not anything else but that, right? So if that's the case, then you're never without God or Christ or Jesus or whoever, right? You're never not them or without them. So in one way, you're totally correct. Without that energy, you're going to lose. The beautiful thing is, since you are that energy in its totality, you shouldn't lose. So, you really, when they say you're preaching to the choir, you're really just preaching to the choir, because there's no need to to tell us to stay connected, because we can never actually, because according to just your own statement, I technically can never be disconnected from, if I am God, if I am that being, if my whole being is of the Christ energy, then I'm always that. Therefore, I can never be disconnected, right? So that's why it's there's no need really to focus on that. More, we should focus on how to use the energy, the weaponry that we have been granted, that we have been born with, right? Tuna Kenneth, yo, say that ish again, Ashe. So I can screen record for the familiar, Ashe. Don't worry, it'll be on the playbacks. Dia Andre says lack of does not exist. We were born in abundance. Yeah, I mean, we are born in abundance, because there's an abundance of all things. There's an abundance of paper money. There's an abundance of digital money. There's an abundance of hair on my head and on my face. There's an abundance of clothing. There's an abundance of stardust, an abundance of hydrogen molecules. Everything is in abundance, right? We're born in abundance, meaning that we're born in a space that is abundantly existent. It does not mean that you are born with the abundance of all things. So it doesn't, just because you're born in the existence of abundance doesn't mean that you own an abundance of money or an abundance of resources. That's not what that means. You might exist where there's an abundance of resources. It does not mean that you own an abundance of resources, or that you have access or control over an abundance of resources, right? So that's important to understand. Tuna, can I expound it more above by the way you expounded? Let me see if I missed it. What did I miss it? Oh yeah, I see right here. Okay, Tuna Ken says, yeah, if they're not already grateful and appreciative for it, giving more won't make them be appreciative. Exactly. They're not appreciative, and that's okay. They just don't appreciate it. And then you just give less, right? Tuna Ken, I just was always told you cannot control emotions. You typically cannot completely control emotions, but you can greatly influence your emotions. You can greatly influence them, right? For instance, my son, I was, so we're doing some basketball training. While we're doing basketball training, we were in a very light part of it. We were just shooting free throws at the time. So I was asking him some life questions about leadership, basically, actually. And I was like, and I'm questioning him and I'm challenging him, and his answers are just inadequate. And I'm showing him how they're inadequate. And at a certain point, he starts to because he didn't understand how it is that I was asking him, how is it that I can get individuals? And very specifically, I was talking about like teammates of his, including him, that I've coached. How do I get them, no matter how nervous or anxious or doubtful they are, how do I get them to ignore that energy, the emotions that they're feeling? How do I get them to ignore it and execute in the sport? How am I able to pull that out of them, right? And the way that he was answering it was just very inadequate, because he still, like most adults actually, he didn't quite understand the words I was using. He's 13. He knew answered the words, but he was taking them out of context, like a lot of people do nowadays. So at a certain point, he starts to like have this like panic attack. It was like, I think the first time he's ever really had such like a panic attack really with me. So I had him go sit down. And I didn't get all soft with him. I didn't get like, oh, it's gonna be okay. Like, no, it's like, go sit down. Just like that. I was like, let's go sit down. Right. Eventually, I was like, get up, let's go. He's still trying to figure out the answer and work out his emotions and blah blah. I was like, get up, let's go. And then we start training. And then now we're only doing the training. And I'm telling him what to do in the training. Now, when we're training, I'm also training with him. So I'm doing the same drills that he's doing. And I'm like, focus on this, do this. Nope, not hard enough. Nope, not fast enough. Nope, blah, blah, blah. And he's so focused on the training that he forgets that he was just having a panic attack. He forgets that he was just overwhelmed with these emotions and nervousness and fear. He forgets. And then I go back. After we're done with the training, I then go back and say, how did I get you to execute on the drill, though you were just having this panic attack right before it? You were just having this fearful and nervousness and anxiety and anxiousness. How did I get you that? And then he had to rethink, like, well, how did he get it? And it's like, what did I do? I got you to focus on a task. I got you to focus so intensely on the task that you ignore and end up forgetting. You don't get. I didn't make you get rid of the emotion. I just gave your mind something else to focus on, so that you at least for temporarily forgot about the emotion, and then it starts to pull in. It starts to create a different emotion inside of you. Right. So that's the best way to quote unquote control the emotion. You don't control the emotion. You don't say, well, let me think about something else. That's not enough. It's, let me focus on something. Let me focus on executing a very specific task. And by working on a very specific task that requires your total focus and the majority of your energy, that is what helps to influence your emotions in a way that's more manageable. Tune Ken says, that's not why I give emotion. I had a realization over the past weekend that I've been trying to prove myself worthy of love to others. That's interesting. Like trying to earn love, but love is not to be earned. Well, are you saying that love is not to be earned because it sounds like a good thing to say? Or are you saying that because you thought it through and that actually makes sense? For instance, if you have a child, you give birth to a child, then that statement would make sense, right? That, your love for the child should not have to be earned. But if you meet a man for the first time, you just meet him at a coffee shop, you just meet him, at a party, where you just meet him somewhere, or at the grocery store. And that might end up being, you say, your husband or your, significant other. At the time that you meet them, are you just going to love them just because you met them, just because they have nice teeth? No. Would they not have to talk to you? Do they not have to show you who they are? Do they not have to prove that they are a worthy partner? Would you not have to prove to them that, hey, I am a worthy partner as well? Or they, nobody knows if another person is really worthy. So in order to receive love from a significant other, you do have to prove that you're worthy of their love. Maybe not of love in general, but of their love, right? Because I don't know you. You could be a crazy person. You could be a selfish person. You could be a two-faced person. I don't know, right? So just be mindful of these, sayings. Sometimes they just sound really good, but and they can make sense in certain contexts, but not in all contexts usually. All right. Peace to Luna. Amazing says, because you feel them, but at the same time you can. Ashe. Yes, I can feel that because when I'm overthinking or overwhelmed in emotions, cleaning helps. Ashe. Cleaning, right? That is a specific, detailed task that will overshadow the emotion. It does not totally get rid of the emotion, but it overshadows it enough to where now you can manage yourself more effectively. To again, I'm saying that because I thought it through, in unconditional love, the real love just is. Unconditional love comes from, but a person, you should not unconditional love a stranger. You can, but if you do it in a responsible way. But as far as like in a romantic relationship love, you should not unconditionally love somebody if you don't know them, right? The how to shift your emotion explanation was fire. Ashe, Tuna Ken. I feel like you do have to earn love like it's worth it. I mean, you do have to earn love to people you don't know, right? You do have to earn love, right? Or even if someone you do know and they broke your heart, or they hurt your feelings, or they let you down in some kind of way, and they might be related to you, well, don't they have to earn your openness and your lovingness to them once again if they've hurt you in the past, right? They have to earn that certain level of love energy from you once again. So yeah, it definitely is. Love has to be earned in certain cases. In a lot of cases. In some cases, it doesn't, right? So, but truly, I feel you naturally give natural love, just not too much. You naturally give natural love. I don't know what that really means. It sounds like it sounds nice. It sounds good, but what is natural, love? That's like anybody, anyone could decide what that is, right? So it's kind of just a cool thing to say, but it does sound beautiful though. Tuna Ken, yes, but not prove love. Okay, what do you mean by that? Prove the trustworthiness, prove the genuineness, prove the emotional intelligence, but not prove love. I don't understand what you mean by that. I just don't understand what you mean by that. What is the difference between the trustworthiness and the genuineness and the emotional intelligence and love? Do those things not follow under the category of love? Is love something else? What is love? If it's something else, tell me what love is. Give me the definition. Because I'm pretty sure all those things encompass love. Yes, that makes so much sense. Clean Health Ashe. It's like a channel to put the emotion into, turning it to Ashe, Tuna Ken. Yes, you're right. That makes sense. Earning the openness, Ashe. Some people are naturally caring. Some people, are naturally caring. I'm a naturally, caring person, right? Most naturally caring people, at least in today's world, in today's times, are very irresponsible with their caring energy. They're very irresponsible with it. They just give it out all willy-nilly, right? They have no process of elimination when it comes to that, right? So it's some people are naturally athletic and talented in that area, or musically or whatever, right? And they irresponsibly wield that energy, right? So, peace to Stoop Kid. You have to know when your love is taken for granted. Says many things, you know when your love is taken for granted. What does that mean though? How do you know like your love is taken for granted, or and how do you know your love? How do you know your love is taken for granted? And does it matter that your love is taken for granted? Like it's is that really the thing to focus on? Do we know when it is? It's like, or is it just? I think it's more. See, I'm trying to show you the balance between the masculine and feminine when it comes to this love thing. Let me get this charger going before this phone dies over here. If it'll even reach, I don't think it. I don't know if it'll reach. Let's see. Okay. Barely. Okay. Fee says one collective love card pull, maybe perhaps. Let's take a little charge. I got it to reach. It definitely reached. The collective love card. I'll pull a card and see what collectively we can get for the love energy. First let me read this right here. Atuna Ken, what's going on over there? Atuna Ken says, but what I was doing felt toxic towards me. Okay. It felt more like I was trying to prove to men in my past relationships that I had something to prove or earn by how much emotion and love I kept giving. Okay. So you got a love deck on the far left. Okay, is it this one with the hearts on it, I guess? Yeah, in front of me, yeah, with the black hearts, yeah, black and red hearts. Shay, let me come back over to, let me look at these comments in totality before I, Mazine says, hell yeah, because I'm not about to keep letting my energy be thrown off. Shay. Atuna Ken, yes, exactly. I feel as though I've always been the naturally caring, naturally open-hearted person, but I am noticing the carelessness of it now. I need to manage it. Yeah, I feel that. Ashe. Peace to lovely Sadies. So, had you had something to prove or how much emotion? Now, I don't know that, I don't really understand the process of how much emotion you're trying to give to somebody to prove. Like, I don't know what that means. I'm going to be honest. Like, because men, we don't talk in such terms. Like, I don't say, I'm giving you so much emotion. It's like, how is giving me emotions benefiting me? I don't understand what you mean by emotions, right? Like, are you giving me a bunch of sadness and crying? Are you giving me a bunch of smiling and happiness? Like, what do you mean? How are you giving me your emotions that somehow I'm supposed to I don't like that. And that might be probably the issue right there, is that you are looking for a reaction maybe from the other person. I don't know. So we'd have to get more clarity on that part. And as far as giving love that you kept giving, I don't, once again, like, because I don't know what you mean by you're giving love. Like, you mean like you're having sex with them? Do you mean that you are hanging out with them? You're buying them gifts or something? Like, what do you mean that you're giving love? Like, what is that? Because that can mean anything. Because remember, there's 5 love languages. So who knows what, I don't know what the love it is that you're giving, right? So it's that's why it's tricky for me to really to say what are you giving so much that, and as far as this other thing is too, is were you giving it to prove something, or were you giving it because you felt love for them? And as someone that you felt love for them, and you felt this attraction and connection, therefore you gave of yourself to them. Was that to prove something, or was that just to give to them? Right? Or was it at first it was to give to them, and then you weren't receiving anything back, but then you kept trying to give to them more, and now then it turned into I was trying to prove it. So there's layers to this that I would like to know. Tune kids, OMG, no, I'm giving too much explanation of my own emotions. Okay, that makes sense. You're explaining your emotions too much. Okay, so you feel like you shouldn't have to explain your emotions, so you shouldn't have to communicate. Is that what you're saying? That communication is not key? Is that what you're saying, Tuna Ken? I would just like to know. Some men play mind games. Some men play mind games. Some women play mind games. People in general play mind games. Some people do. Most people don't, but some people do. So, and it tends to usually be the person. It usually has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with it typically has to do with who feels more control. That's usually whoever feels like they have a greater sense of power over the other person. That's usually where the mind games come from, that person, right? It doesn't mean that it always happens that way, but so it's usually more of an inspiration where it's like money, having a lot of money can sometimes activate people's, assholeness that wasn't quite there before, right? So it's that kind of happens in a lot of relationships too, where in one relationship you're playing mind games, but in another relationship the person playing mind games on you. It just sometimes depends on who's in position of power, right? It's interesting. Precisely because that's not the male's ministry. Let's see, I'm trying to explain it. It feels like I'm giving too much of my energy, period. You're giving too much of your energy, period. Is it so once again, I don't know what that, I think what that really means is that based off my experience with women and how you guys use these words, I think what it really means is that you're spending too much time thinking about the negative experience or experiences or negative. You're spending too much time about the negative emotions that you are feeling and experiencing in connection with that man. You're spending too much time in a negative space in connection to that man. And so that's what I believe that's what you're really trying to say. I'm spending too much time in a negative space because of this man. I think that's what you're really trying to say. Ashe. And and I can understand that. It sings different levels of love, Ashe. Maybe I was trying to prove myself that I can be understood in totality. Currently trying to figure this out myself. Well, here's the thing about I'm going to solve that one for you real quick. Giving too much love, you let a man get over sometimes. Well, yeah, that can happen to anyone, right? To a man or a woman, right? That's definitely true. You have to know when to pull back, and that feeling isn't easy. Well, yeah, yeah. I do feel like I have to communicate. Sometimes I just honestly feel like my emotions are too intense for others, that I literally drown them, and it's a recurring cycle. It probably is too intense. You're probably right. Because it gets intense, because I am over explaining, because the male does not know the depths of the woman's emotions. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And neither do other women, actually. So neither men nor women understand the depths of women's emotions. That's why the highest breakup and divorce rate is women who are in relationships with other women. And that's why the lowest divorce rate is men who are in relationships with other men, right? So, yeah, it's pretty. I would agree that neither the men nor even the other women understand the depths of other women's emotions. In today's time, but it gets intense because I am over explaining, because the male does not know. Okay, I already read that one. So act like we don't feel it. Well, that's an interesting question, right? Act like you don't feel it. Okay. Yes. However, I do have to understand myself. I have to dive into the negative to pull out the understanding. Shay, that is true. We do have to understand ourselves. We do have to go into the darkness, into the negativity. This is true. So it's like I'm swimming, but the man I'm talking to is drowning. Just a little visionary. Visionary. Yes. 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 And I'm going to tell you why this is, and why it's supposed to be this way. I'm going to tell you in a second. Yeah, and actually get a resolution, and don't stay in the negative, that he said. Ashe, right? I literally cannot. I've done it. Ashe, you're right. Ashe. So the key is, you're not supposed to rely on your partner to assist you with your emotions. You can feel all, because it may seem like you actually don't feel it. Feel it? Like, no, you can feel it all you want to. But if you were single, what would you do? You would deal with it yourself, right? When you're in a relationship, the point of a relationship is not in any way, it is not to have someone help you deal with your emotions. That is not the point of a relationship. The point of a relationship is to build a stable and balanced life together. At times, you will share emotions. You will share experiences. That's just not the purpose of a relationship. Atunikin says, but why not? Because nobody deserves to deal with your baggage. See, because you deserve love, right? You don't deserve baggage. That man deserves love. He doesn't deserve baggage. Now, if there's a real issue that you have, and you are already in the relationship together, and you have an issue that you actually run into in your life, then that man or that woman should help you, because y'all are in it together. Y'all are in it to win it. But when it comes to baggage that you are bringing in because of other things you've experienced in your life, no other human being deserves to deal with that. Because we all deserve positivity. We all deserve good experiences. We all deserve happiness. We all deserve love. None of us, I would never tell you to put up with some other man's baggage. And I would never tell that man to put up with some woman's baggage. No. You can be sad, right? Y'all are together and a close family member dies. You can be sad. You can share that with your partner. He should be there to help you through it, and vice versa. Right? But if you're just trying to find yourself and you're trying to shuffle through your emotions because you never found yourself as a child, you never found yourself as a young adult, and you just don't know who you are spiritually and all that type of thing, that's something that you need to be dealing with as far as the baggage part. Unless you're in a specific situation where you and your partner are saying, hey, let's do a ritual, let's do a ceremony where we deal with our emotions and we bring it out to the table. We help each other heal. See, if you and your partner, man and woman, if you just agree that at this moment in time, on this day, we're going to do a ceremony, a ritual to help to release. Well, see, then you are prepared. Both parties are prepared. And maybe both parties don't need to release. Maybe it's just one side needs to release. But you set a time to release. It's like a therapy session, right? Oh, my YouTube or my Instagram was falling apart there, right? So, yeah, you set up a time to really let that stuff go. But if you just letting it go in these passive aggressive or in just these random, that is not why a person got into a relationship. No one deserves to deal with your baggage just because you have it. Just like you don't deserve to deal with other people's baggage. Mazing says, what's baggage? I mean, if you don't know what baggage is, I mean, I'm pretty sure you know it. You know, there's a bag lady. There's a whole song called Bag Lady, written by Erykah Badu. Y'all all know that song. When the song was made, y'all understood exactly what she meant, right? But then when a man starts using these terms, all of a sudden it's like, what does that mean? What is bag? You know what baggage is. You know. I'm not gonna go into a whole explanation of what a baggage is. I can see how it's baggage, so again, I'm ashamed. But even in relationships, we individually work through our own triggers, right? Not that I'm dumping it on him, okay. But as a woman, I need to express myself as I feel through it. As a woman, you need to express yourself. Yes, you should, not to your partner. What would you do if you were single? And I'm assuming you're single now. What do? You express to your mother, express to your father, to your sister, to your brother, to your cousin, to your auntie, to your grandma, express to your journal, express to your dog, your cat, express to the mirror, express to the ocean, express through music, express through some sort of hobby. There are so many ways to express, and we do these things when we're single. Do not get into a relationship and start expressing to your partner. Because you don't need to do it, because you didn't do it before they were there. And understand. The main reason why you shouldn't just go expressing to your partner. Oh, I love this question. To the Ken. What is he there for then? Good question. Attune to Ken. That's a great question. That is. I am so glad you asked that question. Then how are we ever going to get to know each other? Another great question. These are beautiful questions. Graffiti says the guys got the tea tonight. Ashe, right? These are great questions. What is he there for then? I don't know, Graffiti. Not Graffiti, I'm sorry. I don't know, Attune to Ken. What is he there for then? Is that why you get with men, so that you can dump your expressions on them? Why do you get into relationships, Atuna Ken? Because if that's the reason, then maybe that's why you are getting the results that you are getting. Because I thought he was there for the same reason you're there for, which is to love each other, bring positivity, grow together. I thought that was the purpose. I didn't know it was to express your baggage onto them. I didn't know. And if I didn't know, I guarantee you those men also didn't know. Did you tell them that's what you were going to do? You know how women like sometimes be like, well, you didn't explain to me how things were going to be. Did you explain to the men that, hey, I'm going to be expressing and dumping some baggage on you from time to time? Did you let them know that? They might have told you like, hey, I'm not here for that. I can't sign up for it. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. Most people are not therapists. They're not trained in any way to handle other people's baggage. They don't know how to. They don't have the skill set. There's a skill set that comes with that. It's not so much that you can't do it with them, it's just that they don't have the skills. They're not trained. They're just regular human beings like you are, like we all are. They're just, they don't know how. Now this, can go into the concept of where age gap dating, this is where age gap dating can be beneficial, because if you're a woman and you're with a man who's 15 years plus older than you, he is typically more capable and equipped with dealing with your different expressions, because he's going to look at you a little differently. He's like, oh, I've been through that age. I understand that age. I understand what you're saying. I've been through these cycles. I've been around those type of women around that age. I understand. So this is where age gap dating can be of a benefit to women when it comes to women who have a lot to express. You'll find that men, not all men, but you can find good, strong men who are of a higher age that can be more equipped and prepared to handle that type of energy. Shay. So it's not all is lost. There are tricks to it. There are tricks to the trick. Get to know each other. I thought it was healthy to express. You thought it was healthy. You're right. You did think it's healthy for you. It is healthy to express. I'm not going to say it's not healthy, man. It is very healthy to express. It is not healthy for me to listen to your expressions. That is not healthy for me. If you're expressing some positive stuff, it's very healthy for me. If you're expressing your baggage, it's not healthy for me. Which means I have to be extra healthy. I have to be extra strong to deal with it, right? So you want to make sure that person is extra healthy and extra strong and extra capable if you're going to do that. So expression is God, okay. That's a whole nother level right there. I'm not dumping, okay. I'm saying expression is a huge part of it, okay. No, because you know what men love to tell me. What do men love to tell you? I would like to know that. No, because okay. Listen, we listen, and we don't judge. Then say I don't have the space to express myself. Yeah, well, a person doesn't think that's what's going to happen, so that's probably why a person wouldn't say, hey, you don't have the space to express yourself, because they don't really know that they're not expecting it, basically. I literally had a man tell me I only cry to God. Ashe, right? Yeah, man cries to God. Ashe, that's a good person to cry to, right? That's a good being and energy to cry to, I think. I think God, the higher level being, will be very capable of be more capable than a regular human. That would make sense to me. Be the same men saying we women don't listen to them. There are definitely a group of men who say that. Yeah, that is true. But most men aren't really leaders anyway. In any society, most men are just not really leaders. So I've explained this in one of the videos before. Most women actually carry more leadership qualities than most men. So so there are a lot of men who've been a little brainwashed by some men, by some other very loud men who are unfortunately teaching them some not so accurate things. Most women should not really be following men. But at the same time, most women really should be leading most men, but those same women need to be leading the men in a respectful manner, not in a I'm going to use those men or manipulate those men or trick those men type manner, where you have in your phone the guy who's for food, the guy who's for sex, the guy who's for movies, the guy who buys you drinks, the guy, the different, that's manipulative, and that ends up, biting you in the ass. So don't get triggered, Asha. Maintain says why. I just feel like it's a thin line between self-expression and trauma dumping. It is a thin line, but I don't know what that line is. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think anybody really knows. What's wrong with trauma dumping? What's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just letting you know that most people are not prepared for it. They're not prepared, unfortunately. So, but he's Christian. It's funny, Tuna King, you're talking about a very specific person. A very specific man. That is interesting. I don't know anything about this man. I thought this was a generalization, but you're talking about a certain man. I don't know him, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if he knows he's crying to himself. I mean, in a sense, he's crying to himself, but in a sense, he's also crying to a being outside of himself. This is an interdimensional, you got to remember, it's an interdimensional existence. So he's doing both. He's crying to beings outside of himself. He's crying to beings within himself, But we don't want to judge what he's crying to. Instead, we want to try to understand who he's crying to, right? Men don't like to be looked at as weak. Men don't like to be looked at as weak. Apparently, women don't like to be looked at as weak. That's the funny thing. Women don't like to be called, and these days and times, women want to be like, we're not weak. We're strong. We're independent. So I think nobody wants to be looked at as weak, apparently. So I think that kind of just goes both ways. That part, he told me, this is what I say. He told me he can't look weak in front of me because I won't want to confide in him. I mean, statistically, he's correct. That might not be the case with you, Tuna King. Maybe you're different than all the other women who would be turned off and be uninspired by his crying. Right? You can't deny that there are women out there who don't like men who cry. You gotta admit, there's women like that, and he's probably experienced some of those women. So, therefore, it would make sense that just like women go through traumas and they're afraid of experiencing the same trauma with the next man, so they're careful about what they express or what they do or what they share. Men do the same thing. When they go through certain experiences, they're like, well, this happened to me before, this happened to other people that I know, therefore I'm going to tread lightly in this area, right? We're all doing the same thing. So you're special to him if you see that side. Shay, that is true. it's very wrong to trauma dump. I say maybe I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just saying that it's most people are not capable of handling it. LMAO, I said hypothetically, but I'm talking about a specific man. You said hypothetically. I don't remember the hypothetical part, but you got pretty specific. You was getting pretty specific, so, but you are talking about a specific man, though. Okay, sure. Well, that's why I need another charger. Both these things running out. I can't even get to the car. So did I miss it? You didn't miss the car pool graffiti. I've been talking to Tuna Ken and Mazings here. Well, that's why I'm expressing to be understood. Well, you got to ask yourself the question, Tuna Ken. Why do you want to be understood? For what purpose? What are you trying? Because here's the thing. You want to be understood by a man, the Christian man, I don't know, some man, right? You want to be understood, but you already said you don't understand yourself. So what is the man, or any person for that matter, what are they supposed to understand about you that you don't understand about you? What is it that you want them to understand? Do you want, tell me specifically. You want them to understand that you got triggers? You want them to understand that you got certain traumas? You want them to understand that, what are you, or maybe you're trying to get them to understand that you love to paint or music? Like, what are you trying to get them to understand? So, no, I am not strong. I've been put that cape down. I am soft. I need help. I say. Listen, there's a whole lot of different people in this world. One person alone can change in seconds. Yeah, well, that's true. That can happen. It's just complicated. It is complicated. I'm not gonna lie. It is complicated. Tuna Kim, I forgot what CTFU means. So many different ways to go about everything. Ashe. Thank you, the guys. As always, this was very, very extremely helpful. Ashe, Tuna Ken. So how am I supposed to... Okay, be back. So how am I supposed to understand him if he ain't expressing? It's a good question. I'm about to answer that. Courtney Smith says, yeah, some people don't need to know everything that is going on in your head when they have their own problems. This is true. This is true. People don't need to know what's going on with you, and they got their own things they got to go through, right? Tuna Ken says, so how am I supposed to understand him if he ain't expressing? Well, one, he's not obligated. Nobody's obligated to make someone else understand them. If he has no desire to be understood in the same way that you desire to be understood, then that means that it's your own desire. You have a desire to understand him. Okay. Well, if you have a desire to understand him, then you need to ask the right questions of what you're trying to understand about him. If he does not answer the questions or does not answer them very thoroughly, well, then you just understood something about him. He's not very expressive about certain topics or certain things. See, I'm a very expressive person with Dublé, but see, I'm a very unexpressive person. See, I don't do a lot of talking. in my relationships. But when it's certain things that I enjoy talking about, I will talk a lot about those very particular things. Where individuals mess up sometimes is you want to know about the things that they're not expressing or sharing. And that's where the selfishness comes into play, because if that person wanted to express that side, they'll express that side. Once again, a relationship is not about expressing, and it's not about necessarily understanding all the different sides of the person. That comes with time, but that's not the point. The point of a relationship is to build together. That's what the purpose of a relationship is, right? You know, so there's other things like, how am I supposed to understand the parts that are shown? That's very simple. Whatever is being shown, whatever is come to light, whatever is being seen, whatever is being displayed, whatever is being expressed, whatever is being talked about, whatever you are experiencing, that's the part you need to understand. If that person is ready to express a deeper level, then now you get to understand that level. You know, if you want to share all the different levels inside of you, then by all means, go ahead and do it. Just understand that that person may not be ready for all those levels. So the other person at your relationship may not be ready for all the levels that you're ready to express. And the person that you're also in a relationship may not be ready to share all the levels that make up them. They may only be ready for you to experience level 1 through 5. They're not ready to show you level 6 through 20. And it is up to us all as individual human beings to either respect that about the other person, or say, hey, this level of a romantic relationship, this isn't for me. I'm looking for someone who I can express more levels to, and is willing to express more levels to me. It's very simple. There are men out there who are willing to express a lot. There are men out there who are ready to accept a lot. It's just not most of the men, but there are some of the men. Vice versa. There are women out there who don't need to express that much and don't need to know that much about you. They're just going to pay attention to the important parts. There's not a lot of them, but there are some women who are like that. So the type of man that you are looking for, Tuna Ken, I would say is a rarer type of individual. And you know, when you're digging for rare individuals, it can be difficult, and it can be stressful, right? And it takes time and takes more of a effort. You got to put effort to find rare individuals. But you know, they say it's worth it. It's worth the work. I'm in a relationship and we don't understand each other. How can I be of any help to this person, vice versa? To be in that space of just straight trust and love, even the shadow side of your partner. No, wait, how am I supposed to understand him, the man, if he's crying to God himself and I'm crying to him? But I'm sapiosexual. What does sapiosexual mean? Does that mean like you only into yourself? Is that what that means? I love to know, or no, is that something like, are you into the mind? You're attracted to the mind. Okay. I love to know what's going on in that psyche. Okay, well, you just got to find a man who's into that type of thing. Sapiosexual is a person who gets turned on by mental stimulation, right? Well, but you're talking about something different, though. You're talking about like intellect and artistry and philosophy and things like that. It sounds like the man that the men that you have maybe interacted with are just not very intelligent or very artistic or philosophical. That sounds like that's what that problem is. You know? So the men that you get, they don't have the capability, they don't have the skill to do what you're. It's like saying, you know, I'm into men who are tall, but you keep dating men who are 5'7". It's like, well, you know, why can't they have tall energy? Because they're just not tall. All right, so go date a tall man. Okay, so it's like that. It's like, you know, you want that type of psychic type of stimulation, then you gotta dig for those type of men that have it. You know, the Tunicus says the thing like us, everyone desires to be understood to their core. Literally every relationship I've ever had. Okay. But I found out that men can be not expressive but still want to be deeply understood. That's a problem for me. Maybe it was something we might have to talk about deeper. Tunican. Sincerely, Midori. Okay. I don't know how accurate what you guys are saying, but okay. How are we going to build anything if I can't understand what we're trying to build? Well, see, now you're kind of mixing things. You're mixing the expression of someone's emotion with the expression of what someone's trying to build. People usually don't have an issue expressing what they're trying to build, unless they just don't have anything to build. And that's the only time they wouldn't express it. Tunican says, maybe it's them that's not ready for me. Well, yeah, I think I said that though. In fact, I did say that. Those are the exact words I use at Tunican. So I'm not sure if you're saying that out of ego or if you're saying that because you agree with what I told you, because I did say that people are not. Most men are just not capable, which means they're not ready for what you're bringing to the table here. So, you know, maybe that is, yeah. A Tunican says, so men need to level up. Got it. No, because why would men, you only need one man. Men don't need to level up. You just need to find the man that's at the level that you desire. See, once again, that's ego talking. You're making this a man versus woman type of thing. That's not what this is about. That's not what this is about, right? If I have a basketball team, you know, if I have NBA, if I'm a coach of an NBA team, I'm not going to say, you know, the players need to level up. No, I'll say I need to go find some better players. I need to go recruit better players. I need to go draft better players. I need to go sign a better player. I'm gonna do the best with the players I got, but then I need to go find someone else because this ain't getting the job done, right? You know, people are at the level that they're at. You know, people can grow, but everyone has a cap. Everyone has a cap. So, you know, I would never say that women need to level up. Even though it would be nice if a lot of women did level up, but you know, people are at the level that they're at. Instead, just find the individuals that are at the level. It's very simple. And just recognize that. See, if you believe that you're at a high level, I don't know. I don't know if you think you're at a high level or not. I don't know. But if you think you're at a high level, well, that would mean the man that you're looking for is at a high level. And if the man's needs to be at a high level, that would mean that high level, well, most people are not at a high level. That's why it's called the high level. So then you need to learn how to discern the difference between a mid-level man, a low-level man, and a high-level man. Do you you know the difference between those levels? So there are men and women alike. Mrs. May Zings, like it really just depends on the person. Yeah, it's the soul depth I'm looking for. The first thing you were explaining, the sapiosexual part is just one side of it. But thank you for listening. Yes, you did say that. Yes, I was agreeing with Shay, with you. Do I? Okay. That was my ego peaking Shay. Peer recruiting, better players, right. So, Shay, amazing. The way men moving, some are qualified, some no, some no. I can't be a pimp. I'm too emotional. Hey, well, like we say, it's not about like there's I mean, once again, it's about knowing what you need. You gotta have your list of needs, women and men. But right now I'm talking to these women. You gotta have your list of needs, and then you need to choose the man that you decide to express, yourself and connect with, based off of, is he capable of fulfilling these needs? Not does he have the potential to one day figure it out how to, no. Does he actually have the skills right now? Right? If he does not, then, you just keep it in a friend level. If he does, then you take it to a higher level, right? That's very simple. If you know he doesn't got the sauce, then, just don't give him too much energy then. That's all. Give him friend energy. It's simple. Graffiti says, I feel as though expression and love is for yourself, and if it is shared between partners, then it is the result of allowing yourself to be a projection or reflection of what you feel within. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Tuna Ken says, yeah, I'm seeing the difference in levels now. My emotional depth level is something most men aren't ready for. Correct. I would agree. Just got to notice it when I peep it and move on. Yeah, it's very simple. Yes, it's the incapability to fulfill those needs, right? The move on part I hate because, but how long can you wait for someone to maybe change? Amazing. Why would you wait for someone to change? Why? That doesn't sound like an abundant mindset. There's billions of men on the planet. Why would you wait for them to change? Now, if you're already in a full-blown relationship with them, well, then that's a whole totally different situation. But I'm talking about when you're just in the beginning stages and you're being responsible with the way that you are. Amazing says, 'cause it's possible. I'll give you the white man, mustache, no lip, face, just. Because it's possible. Because it's possible. Because it's possible. Well, I would say amazing that peace to Kelly Bernard. Tuna Ken says much needed convo. So it's possible for a person to change. Well, that is the problem. That is the mistake that so many women in America are making. is that, see, this is where you should pay attention. There's some men who have said this at least on like YouTube and stuff, and it's very accurate. There's a lot of women who have a feeling, and then they express reality based off of how they feel, not based off of the reality. Right? And this is where it's coming into effect right here, Amazings, because what you're saying is the only reason why you would wait for someone to change or hope that they change is if you feel a connection with them. And that's the mistake. You women have to stop lead. See, you know how they say men lead with their I don't know if I could say it on YouTube or so, I don't know. Lead with their, their smaller head, right? The little head, right? Women lead, I don't know what y'all are leading with, but it's not your brain. I do know that. You're leading with your emotions. And you're saying, I feel a connection with this man. And I'm going to ignore, I feel a connection with this man. And now I'm going to ignore the red flags because they could change. He could change. Right? And then you begin to try to pursue something, special with that person. You're trying to, all right, TikTok about to go out, so I'm just gonna close that one out. You're trying to, instead of going off what you're experiencing, saying this man is not capable of fulfilling my needs, so therefore I'm going to end this romantic venture with them. Instead, you're saying, well, I have a connection with this person, so I'm going to ignore reality that says this person is not capable and hope that they may change later. See, and that is why it's hard for a lot of men out there to take women's gripes and women's issues and women's complaints seriously, because not because they're not valid, but because you're trying to force a person who you like but isn't capable of fulfilling your needs, but you're still trying to force them to be your partner. You're trying to force someone who's not capable, who's not competent, who's not worthy, who's not on the level that they need to be to fulfill your needs. But you're saying, I like you, or I'm attracted to you, and I feel connected to you, so I'm going to ignore that. And then you get mad at that man. And you get mad at all the men that have failed you when you were failing yourself the whole time. And Tunikin says, settling. You're right. You are settling. You're settling. Why are you settling? You can only be settling if you believe, because I connect to this man. You believe I can't find another man that I could connect to on the same level. Instead, you get thirsty. You know how men get thirsty? Men are thirsty, right? They see a woman, they're attracted, they're thirsty. They're like, I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you, I'll buy this. Like there's no other women that exist. They get thirsty. Women, y'all be getting thirsty. Y'all be getting thirsty, but it's in a different way. It's you feel emotional connection, some sort of like heart connection, and boom, you get thirsty now, and you just like, there is no other man. It can only be him. It's like, there's all these other men. See, you wait until your heart gets broken, or you wait until you get disappointed, and then you want to be like, oh, there's other men out there. There's other fish in the sea. There's someone out there better. Someone who's going to treat. Like, yeah, they've been out there. They've been out there. Stop doing that. Stop settling. And stop settling and then complaining about the fact that you settled. You did, it was you. Stop doing it. And then getting mad at the man because you settled for him. He already knew he couldn't do that. You do. And you knew he couldn't do it. So what are we talking about? Use y'all great intuition that y'all supposedly have. That y'all also say is discernment. I'm waiting for y'all to use that to do better. Tudkin says takes levels of self-love to hit that mark and move past it. Well, y'all need to get better at loving yourselves. I'm telling you that. Amazing says it's hard. You know. The great things in life are never easy. Yeah, it do be you the entire time. I had to realize that. You had to realize? I mean, have you realized it? I don't know if you realized it yet. Because you did a lot of man blaming today. I don't know. I think if you realized it, it had to be just now. There was a lot of man blaming. You dig? I don't blame women. I don't. I might be annoyed with a lot of things that y'all do and say, but I don't blame you because I understand. That's why I don't complain. I get it. So still processing, shipping, and handling. I know. You know, that's why men of my understanding will give you women grace. Let's do a quick love card pull. I don't even know what it is. I don't really do like general type things like Dublé does here, but you know, we'll see what the love energy gives me. Ready for love. Okay. Stay optimistic about your love life. Your heart deserves the right kind of love. Now, stay optimistic. So stay positive, right? The second part is very important though. Because you got to be ready for love. Understand? Your heart deserves the right kind of love. Women can explain, and even men a lot of times can explain the type of love that you are looking for, that you want. Your heart wants this, but you keep giving it the wrong one. Your heart wants this love. It wants this type of person. It wants this type of experience. It wants this type of energy. And then you, as a man or woman, you keep accepting this other love. And what this card is saying is that your heart does not deserve these alternative loves. It deserves the one that it desires. So that's the one that you should give it. That's the one that you should give it. Ashe. India Ari in the building. Ashe. Ready for love. Ashe. I love playing that song on guitar. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this past Scorpio full moon had me in check. Ashe. Ashe. So it's 11:22. That's the perfect time to go ahead and wrap it up. Had a good time. I guess we had some energy that needed to be worked out since I haven't been on here in a little while. So We'll go ahead and say Ashe, Asante, and Amen. Ime Kamalika, it is done. And we'll catch you tomorrow. Ashe.